Okay, great. So let's get today's classes started. So welcome everyone to today's online classes. Today we are going to do a full body workout. So some equipment that you need today is going to be a towel, a pair of socks, and an elevated surface. Okay, so if you don't have an elevated surface, I'll provide an alternative for you. So for your socks, the purpose of the socks is later we are going to do an exercise. The name of the exercise is called a hamstring curl. You're going to slide on your socks. Okay, you're going to wear your socks. You're going to slide on your heels. So if your floor is on a rough surface, so I will provide you alternative with that exercise. Okay, so wear your socks and let's get our workout started. Okay, so we are going to do, for the first round, we are going to do 1 minute for each movement. So the 1 minute is for me to explain and for you to explore the movement and the alternative provided, okay? So let's just get started with our first movement. We got 15 movement to complete today and let's go. Okay, so the first movement is called the hamstring curl. So you are going to pretend that this is my socks, okay? Because I can't slide on a grass surface. So you're going to imagine that I'm wearing the socks, okay? So you're going to be on your heels, bring your butt up, and you're going to slide your leg down and bring it back up like this. So imagine you're wearing a stocking sliding on a smooth surface, okay, like this. So if you don't have any smooth surface at your home to glide, you can do this variation, okay? So you can be on your heels, hip butt up, squeeze your butt, hands on the ground, and you're going to crawl till you're as far as possible, but not touching the ground, okay? And come back. So that's for the hamstring curl. Let's move to the second movement. The second movement is going to be the push-ups. So you can do the knee version, which is the easier version, or you can do the full version, which is the harder version. So if in case that you're doing a full version and you feel tired halfway, drop into your knees version, okay? So that's the second move. So the first move, you're going to prepare your socks, okay? Since we got some time left. So for the first move, you're going to slide. So slide, hips up, and slide like this without your butt touching the ground, hands on the ground, okay? So again, if you don't have socks, so just on your heels, hips up, and you're going to crawl as far as possible and come back, okay? Okay, great. So let's go to the third movement. The third movement, we are going to be performing some lateral lunges. We are going to be performing for our both leg, okay? So let's start with your right leg first. Right leg, push your hip behind, toes pointed forward. When you push your hips behind, both hands in between your legs, kick back and change side, hips behind, both legs, and back. And we are going to alternate it like this, okay? So lateral lunges means you are going side to side. Imagine a mirror in front and behind you, okay? So this one will need a bit of coordination a bit. You all can try it out, okay? So lunge one side, hips backwards, hands in between, kick back, and lunge to the opposite side, hands in between, kick back. And we are going to do this vice versa, okay? Okay, so for the fourth movement is gonna be the behind neck towel pull down. So behind neck towel pull down, you're going to be seated, get your towel ready. You are going to imagine, try to rip off your towel, ham straight, and you're gonna pull it until it reach behind your head. You will be behind your head. You're going to squeeze your back and you're going to be straightening your arm again. So this will work a lot on your back and up and back and up. So during this movement, I want you to maintain the tension of the towel, okay? So how hard is this workout is going to be is how hard you maintain the tension, okay? How hard you pull your towel. Okay, so that is for the fourth move. Let's get rested for a while. You can practice and let's go to our fifth move. Okay, so for the fifth move is called the abs halo. Abs halo, lie down on the ground. This one will be a harder version, okay? Legs straight, low back on the ground. You are going to bring your hips. You're going to start from either one side first, okay? I will start from the left side. You're going to bring your hips up and draw a half circle. Hips up, half circle. Hips up and half circle. So easier variation, you are going to bend your leg. Okay, so bend your leg, then you are going to draw a half circle with your knees. Half circle and half circle. So in case you're doing a full variation and you're feeling tired, then go to the knee variation. Okay, so the cue is start from one side, butt up, draw a half circle, and to the other side. Okay, butt up, draw a half circle, and drop to the other side. Okay, so let's move to our sixth movement. The sixth movement is called the long leg march. So it's a bit tough. So I will be providing an easier alternative. For the long leg march, lie down on the ground, heels on the ground. Okay, as you can see, my knees, the back part of my knees is not touching the ground. I'm going to lift my butt up and I'm going to march like this on my heels. So my butt, you see, as you can see, my butt will not be touching the ground. So if you cannot do this variation, it's okay. You can do the easier variation. So the easier variation is the glute march, okay? Bring your hips up. Just like instead of on your heels and your legs is straight, you're going to bend your legs and on your foot. Then you're going to march up one by one like this, okay? Okay, so let's proceed to the next movement. The next movement is going to be the lateral sides. This will work the back part of your shoulders. So for the lateral side, I will show the harder version and the easier version will come later. So for the harder version, get in the full plank, squeeze your butt, tighten your core, then you're going to be opening like this. You're going to open until your head is pointed to the ceiling and back down and change side and back down. So when you open, I want you to squeeze your back as tight as possible and you're going to change side and back down. Easier version, drop on your knees, open up, squeeze your back and back down and switch side and back down and switch side. Okay, so this will be our 7th move. Our 8th move, everyone is familiar with this move, is the lateral lunges. So lateral lunges, you can stand either facing anywhere, it's okay. So one leg back, knees down, and stand back straight up. Change leg, take a step as far as you're comfortable, knees down, and bring yourself back up. So we are going to repeat this alternatively, okay? So rest for a while. You can practice this movement. Next movement, we are going to be seated, okay? So any question on the movement? If no, show me a thumbs up. If everyone's clear, okay, great. So let's rest for a while. Take a few deep breaths before we continue to our 9th movement. So 2, 1, and the 9th movement, we are going to be seated. We are going to do some towel roll. We are going to do it horizontal, means it's going to be like this. Seated, hand straight, rip your towel apart, squeeze your both shoulder blades together, and you're going to roll the towel to your bottom part of your chest and hand straight. So from the front angle, it will be looking like this. Towels, rip the towel off, shoulder blades down, shoulders down, shoulder blades tight. Roll this to your lower part of the chest. You're going to squeeze your back for at least 1 second. Squeeze your back tight, both shoulder blades together, and back to hand straight. Okay, squeeze and go back. Okay, so you can repeat this like a warm up. Okay, because later we are going to straight jump into our working set already. Okay, so let's move to the next movement. Is our abs movement. So it's going to be our V up tucks. For the V up tucks, the leg is going to be bent, back on the ground. Make sure before you leave the ground, your lower back is touching the ground. Okay, so you're going to bring yourself up, forming a V. From the front view, it'll be like this: down and come up with a V. Down and up. Okay, if this is too tough, you can be performing the curl up, which is the easier version. For the curl up, just lie down, palms by your side, and you're going to bring your chest up, squeezing your stomach muscle, and you're going to touch a few inches close to your heels. Back down, up, back down, and up like this. Okay, easier variation is going to be the curl up instead of the V up tucks. So the 11th movement is going to be the elevated glute bridge. So for the elevated glute bridge, you're going to be placing your heels on the elevated surface. Make sure your low back is on the ground, hands by your side, and you're going to bring your butt up. You're going to squeeze it. You're going to feel your butt muscle and hamstring muscle working. Down, up, and down, up, and down. So just if in case you don't have any elevated surface, you can just put your heels on the ground. So only heels on the ground, and lift your hips up like this, squeezing your butt, and you'll feel your hamstring too. Okay, your toes is going to point towards up the ceiling and down. Okay, so after the elevated glute bridge, we are going to get into our core movement. We are going to be performing the plank build-ups. For the plank build-ups, the harder variation is going to be getting into a full plank. And so now you're going to be on your forearm, and you're going to push yourself, straighten your arm into a full plank and back into an elbow plank. So this is the plank build-ups. So easier version, on your knees, same thing, elbows to palm, elbows to palm. Okay, so this is a plank build-up. Okay, you can try this movement. Either you can choose the easier variation or the harder variation. Okay, 2, 1. So after the plank build-ups, we are going to work on our lower body. Okay, as you can see, our routine, we are going to alternate between the lower and upper body. So we are getting enough rest in between each exercise, because later we are not having any rest. So for our lower body workout, we will be working on some coordination and power. We are going to do split stance jump. So for the split stance, so your back leg is going to be on your toes, front leg will be on your foot. So when you're jumping, you're going to be, both leg is going to be on your foot already. Okay, so you're going to imagine that you're running in a spot. Okay, you're going to jump like this, up, down, up, down. Okay, just like a shuffle, like you're running on a spot. Okay, so you're going to be constantly on your toes. Great. Let me switch the camera angle first. Okay, so let's jump into our back. Next movement. So just now we did some upper body work. So now we are going down to our lower body. So this is called the back video. So you're going to lie on your back, elbows on the ground. You are going to push yourself out, up through your elbows. Push yourself up, pull, squeeze your back, and back down. Rest. Push through your elbows, push yourself up, squeeze your back, and back down. Squeeze your elbows and down. Okay, so I want you to lead with your upper body. Push through your elbows. Bring your upper body up first instead of using your head to lead. Not like this. Not like this. Upper body up first. Squeeze your back and back down. Push through your elbows. Squeeze and back. That's the back video. And after the back video, you're going to be performing one last exercise. So this will work purely on your back, especially your whole back. So this exercise is called the Superman. We are going to be holding in a Superman hold for around 30 seconds, okay? So for Superman hold, your foot will not be in contact with the ground. By squeezing your butt, bring your legs up and bring your hands up like this. Hands covering your ears. You're going to hold at this position for 30 seconds, okay? For later, try to push your hands away from the ground, squeeze your butt as tight as possible, and you're going to hold at this position, okay? So that's the last movement of our 15 movements of the full body series. So we are going to wait for the timer to finish, and we are going to be performing the whole workout together, okay? Okay, so let's get the workout started. So each movement will be 30 seconds, and we won't be having any rest in between. That's why we alternate the upper body and lower body, okay? So it will be tiring. We'll be doing 2 rounds, and it's a good full body workout. And let's get started. So 30 seconds each movement. So wear your socks, prepare your socks, wear it on your foot. If you don't have a socks, then you're going to do it on barefooted, okay? Let's go, let's start. 30 seconds, 15 rounds. The time start now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's start with your hamstring curl on your socks. Hips off the ground. You will glide your feet away from your body and bring it back. Straight and bring it back. So if you don't have a socks, you're going to be bringing your hips up on your heels, and you're going to climb until as far as you can go and climb back. 1. Okay, so get into your push-ups. Let's go. Push-ups, full push-ups or knee push-up. Let's go. I will do the easier variation. So for those that is not tired, they can go for the full variation if you can do it. It's even better. Okay, so you're going to be seated. Grab your towel. We are going to be performing the behind the neck pull down. Rip your towel apart and pull it to behind to your neck. Okay, so maintain the constant tension on your towel and hands back straight up. Let's go rip that towel apart. Okay, so drop the towel. We are going to go for our abs halo. So lie down on the ground. You can do it either with your leg straight or leg bent, okay? So hands beside, start from the side, bring your hips up, draw a half circle. This is the easier variation. So the harder variation, just straighten your legs and hips up, draw a half circle. 2, 1. Okay, so let's switch movement. Next will be the long leg march or the glute march for the harder variation. On your heels, butt off the ground, and you're going to be marching like this. As you can see, my butt will not be in contact with the floor, okay? So, you can do the easier variation, glute marches. So for the glute marches, make sure to squeeze your butt also, and you're going to march like this. 2, 1. Okay, so let's switch to the next movement. The next movement is your lateral sides. So be on your full plank position, and you're going to be opening up like this and back down and alternate side. Easier variation on your knees and open it up like this. Make sure when you're opening, squeeze your back tight. 2, 1. Okay, great. Next movement, lateral lunges. On your feet, bring your leg behind, knees down, and stand back straight up and do it alternately. Let's go. Yeah, great. Good. Trying to maintain your balance. 2, 1. Okay, be seated on the ground for the night exercise. So towel roll, rip that towel apart, pull that to below your chest. Make sure, try to rip that towel hard, rip that towel apart. 2, 1. And okay, so start lying on the ground. We are going to do the V up tucks. Leg fold, leg bent, hand straight, and bring yourself up, perform a V. And back up, and back up. Easier variation will be the curl up. So touch this and back. Touch, try to reach for your heels and come back, okay? With your upper body. 1. Okay, so let's switch to the elevated glute bridge. Heels on the elevated surface, 90 degree, and bring your hips up. Squeeze your butt and back down, okay? So if you are not doing on the elevated surface, do it on a flat surface while heels off, heels on the ground, and push your hips up and squeeze your butt. 2, 1, and let's move to our plank build-ups on your forearm, everyone. Okay, from a elbow plank to a full plank. Elbow to full. Easier variation on your knees. So if you're tired, just do it the knee variation. 2, 1. Okay, on your feet, we are going to do the split stance jumps. Let's go. So when you're doing the split stance jump, you're always going to be on your toes, okay? Try to land as silent as possible. Let's go a bit faster. 2, 1, and lie down your back. We are going to do the back widow. Push through your elbows, bring your chest up, squeeze your back. Two, 1. Okay, so don't stand up. Lie down your stomach. We'll be performing the Superman hold. Last movement. Hands cover your ears, feet off the ground, squeeze your butt. 2, 1. Okay, that is all for our first workout. So let's take a 30 seconds break and we'll be coming back for our second round. For our second round, each movement, instead of 30 seconds, since everyone is familiar with the movement already, we'll be performing it for 45 seconds and give it all because this will be your last round already. Take a sip of water and we are ready to go. Okay, so let's start with hamstring curl, okay? So socks variation, you can wear your socks. 45 seconds. And let's get started. Okay, start lying on the ground. 2, 1, and let's go. Hamstring curls. Butts off the ground, tighten your stomach. No socks variation. You're going to be on your heels and you're going to be extending your leg as far as possible without your butt touching the ground. Come on, butts off the ground. Two, one, and let's move to your push-ups. Turn over and let's do push-ups. So when you're doing push-ups, maintaining your head, upper body, and hips in one line. Easier variation on your knees. Let's go, a few more seconds left. If you're tired, hold at the top position. And when you're ready, get back down. 2, 1, and stand up on your feet. We'll be performing lateral lunges. By the side, push your hips back, hands in between your legs, and change to the opposite direction. Come on, make sure your toes is pointed forward. Check your toes, everyone. Make sure it's pointed forward. Almost there. 2, 1. Okay, let's sit down, performing some behind neck towel pull down. Grip the towel, pull it to behind of your neck. So when you're pulling the towel down, you can feel the towel gliding on your head. Grip that towel and hand straight. So make sure when the towel is down on your neck, squeeze your back for at least 1 second before straightening your hands. Great. Squeeze, pull. 2, 1. Okay, so next, let's lie down your back. Let's switch to your abs halo. Either leg straight or leg bend. Leg bending will be the easier version. So let's do it leg straight this time. To the side, hips up to draw a half circle. Let's go, half circle. So if you're too tired, drop in, bend your legs, bring to the side, and draw a half circle with your toes. 2, 1. And let's switch to the next exercise. The next exercise is going to be the long leg march. So long leg on your heels, butt off the ground, and march like this. Easier variation. Bring your legs nearer, and you'll be performing the glute marches. So when you're performing the long leg marches, your butt will not be contacted with the ground at all. Few more seconds left. Let's hold it. Butts off the ground. And okay, so we are going to turn on your front. We are going to be doing your lateral side for your shoulders. Squeeze your butt, tighten your core. Open up your hand, squeeze your back, and back down. Squeeze your back, and back down. Easier version on your knees. Two, one. Okay, so on your feet, let's perform the lateral lunges. Start with either one side of your leg, it doesn't matter. Knees down and stand back straight up. Come on, let's go. Do it slow. If you're tired, try not to stop. Make sure that you're balanced before you bring your knees down. So control your breathing. We've got 20 more seconds left. Next movement will be an easier movement since we are alternating between an easy and hard movement. 2, 1. Okay, sit down. Let's perform the towel roll. Rip your towel apart. Bring it to your lower part of your chest. Squeeze your back for 1 second. And back straight up. Tighten the towel. Make sure tension, okay? Don't forget about tension on the towel. Squeeze your back and hand back straight. Squeeze it and straight. Squeeze it harder. Rip that towel harder. If you feel that it's too easy, rip your towel harder. Squeeze. 1. And okay, lie down your back. Next will be the V up curls, V up tucks, or the curl ups, okay? V up tucks and straight. Bring your hands up into a V when the body comes up. Easier variation. If you're too tired to be performing that, perform the curl ups, okay? This will be the easier version. So when you're curling up, make sure that your abdominal muscle is tightened before you bring yourself back down. Tap and tap. So you tap further, closer to your heels if you can. Okay, so let's turn. Let's do the elevated glute bridge. Elevated surface, heels on the elevated object. Bring your hips up, squeeze your butt and down. 2, 3. If you don't have an elevated surface, just on the ground, heels on the ground, toes don't touch the ground, toes is going to point it to the ceiling and bring your hips up. Squeeze your butt. Two, 1. Okay, so let's get into the plank. Plank, forearm on the ground. Squeeze your butt, tighten your core. Let's do the plank build-ups. Easier variation on your knees if you are too tired to do the harder version. Or you cannot do the harder version, just do the easier variation. You're almost there. If you're tired, try to rest at this position. 2, 1, and stand up on your feet. We are going to do the split stance jump. Constantly on your toes. So try to land as soft as possible. Let's go. Focus on breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Few more seconds left. Okay, great job. Lie down on your back. We are going to be performing the back videos. Push through your elbows. Bring your chest up. Squeeze your back and back down. So clench your fists. Push through your elbows. Squeeze your back and bring your chest up. Two, one. Okay, rotate. Lie down your back. 45 seconds of Superman hold. Let's go. Legs off the ground. Hands off the ground. Hands covering your ears by your side. Come on, hands higher. Squeeze your butt. Okay, so that is all for today. Hope you enjoy this full body workout. Okay, great job. Hope you enjoy this workout, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome.